Have you ever heard of the daring pirate Anne Bonny, who defied 18th-century gender norms and struck fear across the Caribbean? Born in Ireland, she disguised herself as a man to join Calico Jack Rackham's crew, where she quickly became infamous for her ferocity in battle. In 1720, during a surprise attack by pirate hunters, Anne and her fellow pirate Mary Red were the only ones to fight back as the rest of the crew cowered below deck. Despite their valiant efforts, they were captured and sentenced to hang. Yet, Anne's story took an unexpected twist. She claimed to be pregnant, delaying her execution. Mysteriously, she vanished from historical records afterward, leaving her fate shrouded in legend and intrigue. Was she truly pregnant, or did she escape to live a life of freedom, leaving behind a legacy that continues to captivate pirate enthusiasts to this day? Imagine the ominous silhouette of a massive pirate ship looming on the horizon, its black flag fluttering in the wind. This was the sight that struck fear into the hearts of those along the Florida coast when Black Caesar, a former African chieftain turned pirate, commanded the seas. While his later alliance with the infamous Blackbeard is well documented, few know of the daring escape that marked the beginning of his piratical career. Captured by slavers and destined for a life in chains, Black Caesar managed to incite a mutiny aboard the slave ship. Using his cunning and strength, he seized control, claiming freedom not just for himself but for his fellow captives. This audacious act set into motion a life of seafaring terror and legend, culminating in his role as one of Blackbeard's most trusted lieutenants. Imagine a bustling port city brought to its knees by a single man's audacious demand. In 1718, the notorious pirate Blackbeard, whose very name struck terror across the Atlantic, held Charleston, South Carolina hostage. With his fleet blocking the harbor, he captured several prominent citizens, including members of the city council. But what did this fearsome sea robber want? Not gold or jewels, but a chest of medicine. Charleston was paralyzed, its people gripped by panic as days dragged on and the threat of violence loomed. The entire city scrambled to meet Blackbeard's odd but urgent demand, fearing the bloody wrath of his cutthroat crew. At last, with the chest of medicine delivered, Blackbeard released his hostages and sailed off, leaving behind a city shaken by the bizarre and terrifying encounter. This lesser-known episode in pirate history reveals not just the ruthlessness but the unpredictable nature of those who ruled the seas. Imagine a stormy night on the high seas, where the looming shadow of a pirate ship cuts through the waves. This isn't just any pirate ship, it's the Queen Anne's Revenge, commanded by the notorious Blackbeard. On a fateful evening in 1718, Blackbeard executed a daring blockade of Charleston Harbor, South Carolina, holding the entire city hostage. For a week, he seized incoming ships and detained prominent citizens, demanding a chest of medicine as ransom. The tension reached its peak when Blackbeard threatened to decimate the city's population. In a dramatic turn of events, the ransom was paid, and Blackbeard released his captives, taking the medicine and sparing the city. This audacious act cemented his legend, illustrating the razor-thin line between ruthless piracy and strategic cunning. Have you ever wondered how a simple act of mutiny could forever change the course of maritime history? In 1717, the pirate Samuel Black Sam Bellamy, famously known as the Prince of Pirates, captured the Whydah Galley, a heavily armed slave ship. Bellamy, with his silvery tongue and audacious charisma, convinced the crew to join his pirate ranks. The Whydah, laden with gold, silver, and precious goods from the Americas, became Bellamy's flagship. However, just months after this triumphant capture, the Whydah met a tragic fate. On a stormy night off the coast of Cape Cod, the ship was caught in a violent nor'easter and wrecked, taking Bellamy and most of his crew to a watery grave. The ship's treasure, lost for centuries, was only rediscovered in 1984, providing a tantalizing glimpse into the golden age of piracy and the enigmatic life of one of its most legendary figures. Did you ever hear about the audacious escape of the pirate Charles Vane? In 1720, after being deposed by his own crew and marooned on a deserted island, Vane's fate seemed sealed. Yet, in a twist of sheer cunning and resilience, he managed to signal a passing ship. The unwitting captain, unaware of Vane's notorious reputation, took him aboard as an ordinary sailor. As tension simmered and discovery seemed imminent, Vane bided his time, plotting his next move. His escape was short-lived, however. Fate caught up with him when he was recognized and captured by authorities in Jamaica, leading to his execution. This brief yet riveting episode exemplifies the perilous and unpredictable lives of pirates, where fortune could change with the tides. Imagine being a pirate, battling ferociously on the high seas, but knowing that if you lost a limb or an eye, you wouldn't be abandoned to misery. During the golden age of piracy, the pirate ship Revenge, captained by the notorious Black Sam Bellamy, faced a brutal confrontation with a British frigate. Amidst the smoke and cannon fire, one of Bellamy's most trusted men, John Calico Jack Rackham, was gravely injured, losing his leg. Instead of casting him aside as useless, Bellamy's crew rallied around him, cementing their commitment to each other with a remarkable act of solidarity. Rackham was compensated with a substantial share of the loot, enough to sustain him and secure his future. This early form of social security exemplified the unique pirate code, a rebellious yet surprisingly progressive social contract that ensured even in their lawless pursuits, they looked after their own. Did you know that pirates, often depicted as ruthless criminals, once established a democratic society on a remote island? In the early 18th century, a group of pirates led by Captain Mison and his first mate, the enigmatic Caraccioli, founded the utopian pirate colony of Libertalia in Madagascar. This extraordinary community was governed by a written constitution that emphasized equality, shared wealth, and collective decision-making. Unlike the chaotic image of piracy, Libertalia thrived on principles of democracy and mutual respect, providing a stark contrast to the tyrannical regimes from which many of its members had fled. For a fleeting moment in history, these seafaring outlaws proved that even the most unlikely individuals could come together to create a society built on the ideals of freedom and justice. Have you ever wondered what happens when a pirate's luck runs out? In 1718, the notorious pirate Stede Bonnet, known as the gentleman pirate for his unusual background as a wealthy landowner, faced a dramatic downfall. After abandoning his comfortable life in Barbados for the thrill of piracy, Bonnet teamed up with the infamous Blackbeard, terrorizing the seas together. However, their alliance soured, and Bonnet found himself betrayed and captured by the authorities. In a tense standoff at the mouth of the Cape Fear River, Bonnet's ragtag crew was overwhelmed, and he was taken prisoner. His trial became a spectacle, as the genteel pirate's transformation into a ruthless marauder shocked the colonial society. Sentenced to hang, Bonnet's story serves as a gripping reminder that even the most daring buccaneers cannot escape the long arm of justice forever. Ever wondered what could compel a wealthy landowner to abandon a life of luxury for the perils of piracy? Enter Stede Bonnet, the gentleman pirate, who, in 1717, shockingly traded his aristocratic existence for the high seas. One fateful day, after commissioning a ship named the Revenge, Bonnet scoured the Caribbean alongside notorious pirate Blackbeard. During a daring raid off the coast of Honduras, Bonnet's crew captured a Spanish vessel laden with treasure. But the true twist came when Bonnet, instead of claiming the loot, allowed the Spanish crew to go free, earning both their gratitude and the ire of his own men. This act of mercy not only showcased Bonnet's conflicted nature but also cemented his legacy as a pirate who defied convention, proving that even in the ruthless world of piracy, the heart can still prevail.